It's a lie. Did you hear that some Nigerian police officers are now armed robbers? Walai, he shocked me. 3 police officers were dismissed in Ogun State. They said that they will be charged to court for armed robbery. Another 2 officers were dismissed for armed robbery in Lagos State. They said that they will also be charged to court. You know, this is not to scare anybody. There are still good police officers out there, a lot of them, a lot of good ones. And it happens even outside of Nigeria. Once in a while, an officer will go rogue. But we're talking about it so that you will be careful when you see people in uniform on the road, because some officers have done what? They've gone rogue. I absolutely condemn this. I mean, there's no excuse for you to use the uniform and the weapons that are meant to protect the people to oppress the same people and even fire at some of them. At the same time, guys, and this is not to excuse what they did, but really we have to treat our security men and women better in Nigeria. I mean, a soldier went viral recently for complaining that his salary is not enough for him to go and see his family and come back to his station.
Nigeria may give me pass as I do 1 year for my duty today. Now they give me pass, make I go and go see my family. My way to as I come up for bush now I reach park. They tell me say from here to my town 35,000. Now I come calculate 35,000 going and come back, that is 70,000. And 50,000 now my salary where they pay me for this month. But me I not give option again. No. I go back to bush.
It's not fair. In fact, it's a national disgrace that those that are putting their lives in danger for our safety cannot afford common transportation. How would they pay school fees? And police officers are also not well paid, and the condition of their barracks are extremely pathetic. So as much as we're condemning those that are going rogue, everybody knows that crime rate increases with the prevalence of poverty. So if people have weapons, but they cannot afford to eat and they cannot afford to feed their children, if they have no fear of God, they may go into crime. Again, we're not excusing it. So as much as we're condemning the officers that are becoming armed robbers, let's also not forget the system that is turning them into criminals. Now, speaking of crimes, guys, you do not want to have a fancy car in Nigeria and have it stolen. God forbid. So please make sure that you contact Car Tracker Nigeria. They will install a tracker on your car, and with their app you can track your car from anywhere in the world. You know exactly where the car is at any given point in time, and you can also alert the police from the app if your car should go missing. Lagos State government is using them to track vehicles, and they're very affordable, so please contact them. Their information is on the screen. Now, these ones are not criminals, but I think you should know, in case you're yet to know, that the 2 constabulary officers that were asking Ichibut for money,
give me money, sir, money,
the ones that were fired when the video went viral, were allegedly not paid for 3 years.
Àgbà salary kankan láti ìgbà tá a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Àgbà salary kankan.
Kò yé mi. 3 months, 3 years.
Ọdún kẹta àti oṣù mẹ́ta ni láti dà báyìí àsìgbà salary kankan.
Wà ní station tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń post wa láti máa lọ ṣiṣẹ́ káàkiri.
3 years, guys. 3 years and 3 months of working with no pay. In fact, before dismissing them, they said that they were jailed for 15 days and that they didn't feed them, they had to feed themselves.
Wọ́n sákàn ní kí wọ́n tì wá mọ́lé. So a dẹ̀ wà níbẹ̀ títí.
Wọ́n tún yìí mọ́lé fún ọjọ́ mélòó? 15 days. Wọ́n ò fún yín lóúnjẹ. Wọ́n ò fún wa lóúnjẹ, fúnra wa là ń ra oúnjẹ fúnra ara wa.
Wow. Thanks to Akin Abolade for interviewing them. You guys should watch the entire video. The link will be in my description so you can watch his video. We're not saying that what they did was right. By all means, we condemned it. But the same police force that dismissed them after disgracing them somehow forgot to tell us that, by the way, we did not pay these men for the 3 years that they worked for us. And even when they fired them, they didn't pay them for their time.
So ìgbà tí wọ́n dismissing sir, èló ni wọ́n fún yín? Wọ́n ò fún wa lówó kankan o.
Of course, they are not the only ones in this situation. Constabularies in several states of Nigeria have been complaining now for years of not getting paid their stipend and allowances. So these were people that were recruited by the federal government to support the police by assisting in community policing. They train them, they give them uniform, they give them weapons to fight insecurity in the grassroots. Some of them are mounting roadblocks, some of them are stationed in different places. But according to the leader of the Oyo State chapter, Mr. Taufik Akinpelu, he said only 2 states pay the salaries of their constabularies, and that is Akwa Ibom and Lagos State. He said that Abuja also gives stipends. Many of them have approached state governors for them to pay, and the governors will tell them, well, you are working for the federal government, I'm not the one that recruited you, it's the federal government. Remember the ones that protested in Osun State in 2022 for not getting paid for 18 months? We talked about it on the show at the time. They said that 3 of their members had have died on duty, doing the job that does not pay them. They died because of this job. In fact, some of them talked about Okada riders snatching their wives because they have no money to feed their families. Also, more than 1,000 of them protested in Kwara State in 2022. The video went viral that time. A lot of people were saying police officers are protesting, not being paid. And then the commissioner of police said, oh, they are not part of the police. They don't owe them any salary because it's a voluntary position. And I'm like, okay, so you recruited these people, you trained them. They're working full-time, okay? They're working throughout the week. According to them, you promised them stipend and allowances. You're not paying any of this. And now you're telling us that they are volunteers. Like, I don't get it. And on top of that, these people are armed. They have weapons. You are telling us that they are volunteering. They have families to feed. I don't know. So they've been volunteering for how many years? Full-time volunteering, that one sounds like a job to me. And they're not the only ones in this situation, guys. There are teachers that have not been paid in a year and they still keep going to work. There are doctors that have not been paid for several months, which is why a lot of them are leaving the country. And I remember reading in October that non-clinical staff at the University College Hospital in Ibadan were not paid for 34 months. That is 2 years and 8 months. And all these people have family members. And don't even get me started on pensions. Like really, the pensioners are really suffering in Nigeria. Sometimes they don't get paid for years, guys. These are elderly people. How anybody can do this to the elderly baffles me. Something that should be automated. No, they have to first of all go somewhere. Meanwhile, our politicians are living large. These are the people that should be fighting our cause. The people that should be fighting for all these things that we're talking about. Lawmakers, for example, according to one of them, are getting close to $40,000 every month. And that's before they increase their constituency allowance. And they're not even using that money to develop their constituencies. You know, this equation is not balanced. You cannot be paying a few people so much money and then be paying the masses minimum wage that cannot even sustain them for the entire month. And on top of that, many of them are not getting paid on time, especially in this economy, and expect crime rates to go down. Let me know what you guys think about this and about the police officers that are going rogue. Again, there's no excuse for that. You cannot become an armed robber when you're supposed to be a police officer. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button, by the way, if you're yet to. And if you're yet to subscribe, like really, it's the new year. Do you want us to beg you? Help our markets now. Alright, y'all, it's Vero and I'm keeping you right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, I'm watching you on Plasma TV. Press the subscribe button and the bell button. Until next time, I'm gonna see you all later. Peace out.
What is that? That's my worker. Yes.
This is one of the many recoveries from Katraka, Nigeria, and this one happened right here in Lagos. On the fateful day, our client, Mr. S, who is a developer in Lekki, reached out to us to report his stolen vehicle. We went on the Katraka Nigeria app to get the live location of the vehicle. It was already in Lakwe. And the funny thing with this recovery was the thief was in steady contact with the owner, trying to negotiate to get the ransom. This already tells us it's an insider job. So what did we do? Instantly, we contacted the nearest police station using one of the proprietary features from our app. And thankfully, Area J police station was very cooperative and responsive. The DPO in the person of CSP Ekundayo swiftly got his men and we began to trace the stolen van. Not too long after, we found the vehicle parked inside the street, and guess what? The culprit was inside the vehicle, still busy testing the owner to get his ransom. So here's a question for you. Are you a car owner? Is your car secured? If yes, is it secured with Car Tracker Nigeria? If you own a vehicle, you're considering buying one soon. Then about over 200 successful recoveries since 2020 makes Car Tracker Nigeria your shop plug. Click the link below to visit our page and get started with securing your car with Car Tracker Nigeria.